You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn.
Jacqueline, I'm sorry, I was a little caught up. I want to remind everybody again, we have, following our show, is the first installment of the after show starring ESO Creative and
Mr.
Christopher Lee.
Chris, I keep thinking
Right?
Dracula when
And
you say that.
then we will be starting Mondays with Marty Jannetty, which will be canned this weekend, and I'll get that up on the network. And then we'll be adding shows, and we should have a whole list of stuff for you guys to watch with some really good stuff, so it'll be fun.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, so here we go. Head-to-head, Farrell.
Let's do it. All right.
Rhea Ripley against Jacqueline.
Wow, this is going to be pretty physical. As you know, folks, head-to-head has 5 different categories. Category number 1 is mic skills. How do you communicate to that audience? Do you have it or do you not? It's usually pretty obvious. Category number 2, mat skills. Hey, I love a good grapple. Hey, I'll take a good slugfest. Whatever you do you do it well? Or are you just a big stiff? Category number 3, the it factor. Very much unlike eating at the airport diner where, you might experience the shit factor after breakfast. This is more about, do you have that little magical quality that just keeps the audience wanting more? Category number 4, personal favorite of the Pharaohs, the back of the baseball card, belts, championships, money in the banks, battle royals. What do you got? Let's see that high quarterback rating, unless you're the Jets and watching all the high quarterback ratings sign with other teams. Okay, and then there's, of course, category number 5, and category number 5 is impact on the industry. Is that where we're at with that one? I say it all the time, guys like a San Martino or a Hogan or a Flair or a Rhodes, are you a trailblazer or are you just forgettable? So there it is, folks, head-to-head, 5 categories. We pair them up and may the best woman win.
All right, brother. Let's go.
All right. First category. What are we doing there, Spider? We're going to do mic skills?
Got a little mic skills.
Let's go with mic skills. All right. I got to give that to Rhea.
Why?
Because Jacqueline barely talked. And the little I've heard of Rhea is it's okay.
So I think
Jacqueline.
This is very difficult because Rhea is so really new to the industry.
She's pretty good at it so far.
In the limelight.
Yeah.
Jacqueline wasn't bad on the mic, but I'm going to go ahead.
Didn't talk that much.
No, she didn't.
No.
So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with Ripley.
I'm going to take Ripley. Yeah. All right. So she's up 1-0. Now we got mat skills. I don't know how controversial this is going to sound, but I think Jacqueline wins this one.
Why?
Jacqueline was a hell of a worker. Jacqueline was a good wrestler,
She's
man.
a great wrestler.
I'm going to put her above Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's obviously physically impressive, but I think overall the arsenal of skill set, I think Jacqueline's got her.
I'm going to go with that, too. I'm going to agree that Jacqueline, again,
What
Rhea, newer to the industry.
Rhea's great.
Jacqueline was actually underrated as a wrestler.
Oh, yes,
she didn't get enough in the limelight, I think.
Yep, I agree, man. She was a stud. She could go.
Okay.
She could definitely
ESO
go.
says draw on number 2.
That's fair, man. I could see that, but I still feel like Jacqueline had a deeper skill set. Category number 3, we've got the it factor. I'm going with Rhea.
I think this is where Rhea blows her away.
Yeah, Rhea's got an aura to her. Oh my God.
And the Judgment Day Rhea. Okay, the
Sure.
Rhea before this had it,
Yeah,
but not like this.
No, not like
this.
Well, first of all, we're talking about mommy, so let's get that straight.
Yeah, you're right.
That's Dom's mommy. So She's the shit.
So I got to tell you, a couple of weeks ago we discussed who Rhea was going to choose, right, or a week ago, and you wanted to see her against Flair. I wanted to see her against Bianca.
Okay.
I got to tell you, there was an altercation on Raw where Rhea comes across Bianca. I'm still going to stand by it that should be the match.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte, listen, Charlotte is great.
You do
Charlotte
realize
is
this
great.
is unfinished business. This had to happen. You know that, right? This is unfinished
So what, are you going to take the belt off of Charlotte so she wins it again?
Nah, maybe later down the road, but Rhea is definitely getting her revenge. You know, that's how I feel about this one.
You're getting Asuka against Bianca.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
To me...
Is that official, by the way?
It's going to be official.
Okay.
I mean, it's not there yet, but that's going to be the match.
All right.
In my opinion, I just feel like Rhea Bianca could have been great. And again, I don't know why they're missing the boat on Charlotte and Bianca, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree, but I just feel like from a storytelling standpoint, this was going to happen. That's why I said it. I'm like, this is happening.
That's fair.
I mean, Rhea's got to get her payback. Otherwise, can't advance.
JB says Charlotte's going to break her dad's record. I agree. But again,
I don't look at the two the same, but I
do
agree.
Bianca to me is such a it factor. Her and Rhea go together, but let's not reverse against the head-to-head here.
Okay.
So we got a 2-1.
Yeah,
right?
we got a 2-1 for Rhea.
Go ahead.
Yep, absolutely. Category number 4, the back of the baseball card. What do you do with this one?
It's a tough one. This one is because Rhea hasn't done much title-wise.
Not yet.
And Jacqueline's been a Divas champion. I don't want to say world's champion.
They didn't handle it the same way back
She did
in the
well
day.
in Texas. Honestly, I think responsibly, you have to give this to Jacqueline.
I agree.
Right? Even though it's like,
No, I agree.
got to give it to Jacqueline.
All right, so it's 2-2. So this is going to come down to impact.
Which is very close. I'm surprised it's as close as it is.
Impact in the industry. How can you can't give that to Rhea? You have to give it to Jacqueline. Jacqueline's influenced the whole further generation of wrestlers.
See, this is where
This is almost unfair.
This is where I'm going to disagree with you.
I mean, for Rhea, she doesn't have tons of,
This is where I'm going to disagree with you because here's the argument I'm going to start.
I know who's going to have a bigger impact in the end, Rhea.
But here's where my argument's going to start continuing here, right? We're both big Hulk Hogan marks, right?
Yes, that's true.
Greatest of all time.
I haven't made my decision yet, by the way.
I got you, but I want people to hear me out on this.
Okay.
If you look like pure numbers, okay, you might not want to admit it, but the tribal chief is the greatest world's champion in the history of wrestling.
Okay.
That guy has drawn more money, right? They just broke an all-time pay-per-view record, an all-time attendance record, dollar-wise.
I wonder what happens when you adjust the dollars per decade.
But you
Go
can't.
ahead.
You can't.
I know that they do, though. There is a science.
I got it.
I wonder. You're never going to convince me Roman Reigns is worth more than Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. It's not going to happen.
At some point, you got to start recognizing.
I already do recognize his level of success.
But now let's bring it back to Rhea and Jacqueline. So impact on the industry. Jacqueline, you're right. It's almost unfair because she's been around longer.
Right.
But I would say that
you can fairly judge it now because of the years gone past.
But I would say that people know Rhea Ripley more than they know Jacqueline. This one's a tough one. Make a call.
You're probably right about that.
Lou says Roman is not better than Hulk or Austin.
I so agree.
Listen, Luce. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. My point is, sooner or later, everybody's going to have to admit, and this isn't over. This run isn't over.
Roman Reigns was the biggest star of his generation.
Roman might be the biggest star of any generation.
He's not going to pass Hogan. It's not happening.
On dollars and cents,
I don't care.
He's up there.
I understand.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I totally get what
all I'm saying is that can't be disregarded.
No, it can't.
You can't just go, that doesn't matter.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's just that I just feel like Hogan, Austin, and The Rock are in such rarefied
then you got the fan
air.
that goes, Bruno Sammartino didn't have the luxury of having cable. You could make arguments for everybody.
Sammartino was he was the greatest of his generation, and generations were presented through media differently.
Bruno was great for his time because that's what wrestling was about. Wrestling was about ethnicity, right? Ethnicity. Duh. Right? That's the way it was always set up. It was always set up, Puerto Ricans, blacks, whites, Italians, Jews, whatever.
Back then.
Right? Then it changed. So yes, for his generation, he was the greatest. But all I'm saying is Roman has to be in the discussion. Anyway, back to
He is
Jacqueline.
no, I do agree. He's the
Jacqueline.
greatest of his generation.
Jason just says Hogan drew bigger ticket sales. Also, pay-per-views back then cost more since pay-per-views now stream is much lower price. This is what you guys are not forgetting, though. For a pay-per-view, Live Gate, they just broke the all-time record dollar-wise. It beat WrestleMania 3, guys.
Right.
Those are facts. He broke WrestleMania 3's dollars. And the one guy that's in every one of these matches is Roman Reigns. And again, when you look back, when you guys get older, you're going to look back and go, the Bloodline might have been the greatest storyline in the history of wrestling.
The younger ones will, unless they're like, marking
You're looking at a possibility the greatest storyline in wrestling history.
One of the greatest, if not the greatest, and I'll say that right now.
That's great.
The Bloodline storyline is one of the greatest storylines in wrestling history.
All right. Rhea Jacqueline.
I'm going to go with Rhea only because long-term her shadow is going to cast a larger shadow. So I am kind of shooting forward when I do this, but I'm going to have to go with Rhea.
So I totally get what you're saying. Hey Davio's in the house. I'm going to go with Jacqueline just for the fact that we can't go in advance. Yes, you could see the light is shining brighter, and it quickly will. And once she wins the championship at WrestleMania.
So this is a draw, really.
You know what? Let's call it a draw.
I think we should call this a draw.
So, the head-to-head's a draw. Jacqueline, Rhea, a draw. I agree with you. I don't think it's responsible to go either way right now.
You know what's funny? The diehard Rhea fans are probably furious right now. They probably think she won most of the categories, probably.
She's too young in the business.
That's the whole point. That's why impact on the industry, like I originally said, Jacqueline's had decades of girls probably wanting to be like her. So that's why I said if you forecast into the future, Rhea will probably cast a bigger shadow with all the fans she's making right now. Because as you pointed out, there's more fans right now with all the fannies in the seats with Roman Reigns, all the crowds and all the dollars. Rhea's playing to a pretty huge audience at a pretty high level.
Exactly, a very high level.
And she is like, what is it? Is it just her size that I always lump her with? She's like almost, God, I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but it probably will. She's like a more badass, more athletic version of China. When was the last time we saw a woman this big that can do what Rhea does? There's like no one like Rhea.
I want to challenge ESO on this. Awesome. ESO says the average price for WrestleMania 3 was $100. It would have been over a $9 million gate.
Right. There's always that.
They have the gate numbers, ESO. Math. They did over $8.5 million at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio.
But I asked
WrestleMania 3, go check the numbers, drew $6 million. Gate.
But I ask you this.
Not including pay-per-views, okay? We're talking live gate money.
Sure.
Not pay-per-view. Different time.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view costs $50, $60. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look up that number. But we're talking live gate numbers.
What will be more famous, Hogan versus Andre or Sammy hitting Roman with the chair?
It's not even close. It's
Hogan
Andre.
Saying.
I understand what you're saying.
Brother.
And let's not forget that I don't know how, just the anniversary came where Andre beat Hogan for the belt was how many million people watching live on TV. All I'm trying to say is that when you look back, Roman Reigns cannot be disregarded.
No. Matter of fact, if I can...
Lou says inflation. I get it.
Listen, can I briefly just throw this in?
Good.
Here's what I consider basically the faces of the generations. Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, Steve Austin.
Austin/Rock.
You can throw Rock in. Why not?
I think Austin/Rock.
Okay, Austin/Rock.
Right.
Okay. John Cena.
Yep.
Roman Reigns.
There you go.
There's your major, like you can fill in all by. What about Bret Hart? What about Shawn Michaels? What about Diesel? What about blah, blah, blah. No. Bruno Sammartino was the face from 1963 to 1977.
Right.
Then you had Backlund. Then you had Hogan. Then you had a flirtation of Macho, a flirtation of Warrior. Then you had a flirtation of Hart, a flirtation of Michaels. Here comes Stone Cold. Here comes The Rock. You notice how easy this is to take
it is
right
very
through?
Easy.
It's easy.
Right.
Easy peasy.
Then you have Daniel Bryan. Then you got Sami Zayn.
You forgot the skinny guy who complains a lot, the Summer of Punk.
And Punk,
Punk is in there.
And then also you have the Tribal Chief.
And the Tribal Chief's reign is the longest since Hogan's. He's one of the all-time greats, folks. It's already happened. It's already happened. I agree with you. He's one of the all-time greats, and he's the face of his generation. Now, I'm sure Seth Rollins
just said,
about that.
I read once Andre the Giant was guaranteed $1 million just being in the building from WrestleMania 3. I'd agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And back in the day, a wrestler could really screw you up if they didn't show up. Imagine Andre saying, "You know what? I'm not going to wrestle tonight."
Are you kidding?
Could you imagine what could have happened to that event?
Every wrestler wanted to be on the card with Andre to make the cash. If you're on a card with Andre the Giant, you're performing in front of a sold-out arena, right? Andre sold out arena after arena. All you had to do was say Andre the Giant, and the place would sell out.
Lou says Hogan got more than the whole WrestleMania 3 roster combined. I agree. Well, he should have.
He deserved it. He deserved every last bit of it. I was not tuning in to see, the undercard. I mean, it was part of it, but you tuned in to see Hulk Hogan. Unless you didn't. Then you missed the whole thing. I'm sorry to hear that.
All right, with
Whoever
that,
did that.
I want to thank you guys for joining us. Oh, my God, Stingers, you're killing me. Roman is overrated. I love Stingers, but man, he just hates on Roman.
How come?
I don't know.
What does Stinger have? Maybe he's a Rollins fan. Maybe he thinks Rollins is the shit.
You can't hate on Roman, dude. The dude is the bomb.
Do you really think that Roman himself is too worried about if people... Wait a minute, Stinger. You're not acknowledging the tribal chief.
No, he's not.
That's it. This is crazy.
And don't let Paul Heyman find out, Stingers, because he'll be coming to your house to have a little discussion with you.
What, were you going to hit you over the head with a bottle of gefilte fish? Oy. The wise man. He's a nice Jewish
Stingers
boy.
is saying, now what sells WrestleMania is a spectacle. Back then
true.
it was the stars. Yes, well,
This is true. It's become an
WWE changed
event.
it. After Cena...
don't you tune into the Super Bowl every year even though your team's not in it?
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
That is what it is.
It is what My team's never in it.
Listen,
I tune in.
The last great superstar was John Cena, but... Roman Reigns is now starting to make a case.
Doing a good
He's
job.
starting to make a
He
case.
is.
In an era where the WWE did not want stars, a star is born.
I loved when he was basically reading Sammy the Riot Act this past week. You broke up my bloodline. You messed with my family. Did you like that? I thought that was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It's great. Roman's the man.
All right, love you guys. We'll see you next week, Pharaoh.
You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh, and until next time, later.
Also, just a reminder,
not later.
The after show,
Yeah.
right in a few minutes after this. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Later.